You know, it's funny. From a pretty young age, we're all taught to chase the same things. A nice car, a big house. These are the markers of success, right? And when we finally get them, we proudly call them our assets. I mean, it feels like that's the whole point of working so hard.
But what if I told you that the whole idea is a trap? A really clever one, actually. What if the things we're told are our greatest assets are actually liabilities? And they're the very things making us poorer every single month.
That one single idea is the absolute core lesson from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack it. And it all starts with a huge financial myth that honestly traps millions of us.
And here it is, plain and simple. The trap isn't complicated. It's just that we acquire liabilities while thinking they're assets. According to the book, this one simple mix-up is pretty much the #1 reason so many smart, hardworking people really struggle with money.
So you have to ask, why does this happen all the time? And why does it seem to affect even really smart people? Doctors, lawyers, engineers, people with great incomes. Well, the author points to one major culprit, a massive gap in our education.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Our school system does a fantastic job of building up our professional skills. It makes us great employees. It helps us get jobs and earn a good salary. But look at that second bar. It teaches us almost nothing about financial skills. It never teaches us what to do with the money once we have it.
And that's exactly why this quote from the author, Robert Kiyosaki, is so powerful. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. If you don't have that financial intelligence, earning more money doesn't actually solve your problems. It just makes them bigger. It's kind of like giving a faster car to somebody who never really learned how to drive in the first place. Okay, so if a bigger paycheck isn't the magic bullet, then what is? Well, the starting point, the absolute foundation for taking back control of your finances, it all comes down to understanding one very simple but incredibly powerful rule.
And this is it. This is the whole game, right here. Forget all the complicated definitions you've heard from accountants or bankers. For your personal finances, it's this simple. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That's the only rule you need to know. So everything comes down to one question. Which way is the money moving? Is cash flowing into your pocket, or is it flowing out? If it's flowing in, it's an asset. If it's flowing out, it's a liability. And this is the fundamental shift in thinking. The wealthy focus on buying assets. Everyone else tends to buy liabilities that they've been told are assets. All right, let's put this new rule to the test. Let's take the biggest, most common, and the most controversial example there is. I mean, if you ask pretty much anyone on the street, what's your biggest asset, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, my house, of course. And this is exactly why this lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad can feel like a real gut punch. Because the book's argument is that for most people, the house you live in is not an asset. It's actually your biggest liability.
I know. People really push back on this idea because a home is such an emotional purchase. But if we just stick to our simple rule, the cash flow rule, the numbers don't lie. Does your house put money in your pocket every month? Nope. It does the exact opposite. Money is constantly flowing out for the mortgage, for property taxes, for insurance, for all the maintenance and repairs, and then, of course, utilities. So when you add all that up, your home is basically a giant expense machine. It is constantly taking money out of your pocket. And, by the one simple rule we just learned, that makes it a liability. But hang on, you're probably thinking, what about appreciation? My house is going up in value. And you might be right. It probably is. But here is the critical difference. That appreciation is just potential value on paper. It's unrealized. You can't take appreciation to the grocery store to buy food. The philosophy here is all about real cash flow in your pocket today. Now, a rental property that you own, totally different story. That is an asset. Why? Because your tenant pays the mortgage and all the expenses, and hopefully there's a little extra cash that goes into your pocket every month. See the difference? It's all about the direction of the cash flow.
So, how can you actually use this right now, in your own life? Well, it all starts with getting crystal clear on where you stand. You basically need to give yourself a financial X-ray to see what's really going on under the hood. And the way you do that is by creating a dead simple personal balance sheet. You can just grab a piece of paper and draw 4 boxes: income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. Then you got to be brutally honest. This is just for you. Your paycheck goes in the income column. All your monthly bills go in the expenses column. Then we get to the important part. In the asset column, you only list things that are currently putting cash into your pocket. And listen, if you're just starting out, that column might be completely empty. That is 100% okay and totally normal. Finally, list all your liabilities: your mortgage, your car loan, your student loans, credit card debt. And there it is, your financial X-ray.
Now that you have that clarity, the way forward becomes this really simple, repeatable game plan. Step 1, you've got your honest balance sheet. Step 2, every time you have extra money, your mission is to use it to buy something for that asset column. And step 3, you need to make this a habit. From now on, before you make any big purchase, just pause for a second and ask yourself that one powerful question. Is this thing an asset or is it a liability? And really, that's it. Understanding this one simple difference is the absolute foundation of building wealth. It's a total mindset shift. You go from focusing on working hard for your money to making your money work hard for you. From this moment on, every dollar you get presents a choice. Every purchase you make is a vote for your own financial future. So the only real question left is, which column are you going to build?